Now, most of you already think OJ Simpson is guilty, but I've been trying to show you another perspective. But it seems like I'm not getting my message through. Or it seems like I'm not getting my point of view across clearly to most of you. Try my best to explain why I believe OJ Simpson didn't do it. And of course, most of you believe that OJ killed Nicole, and most of you believe that OJ was a wife beater, and that the reason he was acquitted is because he had money and the jury was mostly black. I'm not going to get into detail because most of the people already know. I already show you a lot of evidence. I mean, a lot of reason, but I'm going to put it all together for you guys, and hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from and why I came to this conclusion. Now let's start with OJ Simpson. Now if you think OJ Simpson is a wife beater and that he was very abusive to Nicole, then I need you to consider this, because everybody knows that Nicole broke up with OJ and then she wanted to come back to him, right? You can see the letter, you can see even there are stories out there that tells you, yeah, that's the truth. She wanted to come back. So, and not only that, OJ Simpson moved on. He had a girl, Paula, and still, what does he do? He takes it back and he dumps his girlfriend at the time. He dumps Paula because what kind of man is that? What kind of man leaves a good relationship and go back to the girl, to a wife who dumped him before, leaves them, like wanted to go and explore? Like, do you see what kind of person OJ was? He was a good man. He's a really reasonable, understanding human being. He wanted her to be happy, right? If she's not happy, then he's not going to be happy. Consider that. If you think, forget what other people say. When you judge someone, you need to see their action. You can hear a million stories about this and that about a person, but look at his action. What did he do there? If he did that, what kind of person is he? In my perspective, he's a good person. He's a reasonable person. He's trying to make everyone happy. His own wife, alright? And when he took her back, why did he take her back? Because his kids. He loves his kids and he wanted to make them happy. He's trying to make everyone happy as much as he can. But of course, in the end, no one saw that. No one paid attention or something. No one cared. Try and understand that. If you can understand how he could let his wife go and then takes her back when she wants to come back, and see who is in control. Is he in control, or the person who can go, leave, and then come back whenever they want? I hope I get that point across, how good of a man OJ was and how understanding he was of everybody. Another thing I find it so hard to believe, how people could just be so mean and so unreasonable, is here's a man who did so much before all this happened. He accomplished a lot in his life, and everyone seems to admire him. He was well liked, right? And yet Right when this happened, it's like everything changes. Everyone forgets how good he was, how he wasn't like a bad celebrity who everyone hated. No, this is the opposite. Everyone admired him at that time. And yet, when this happened, no one gives him credit. No one, it seems like people have no honor, no loyalty to anything anymore. It's like, I don't care what you did in the past. I don't care how good you were in the past. If I think you did it, then you did it. Do you understand? No one takes the time and the effort to say, hey, this guy's been so good, for years, and he never done anything. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, let's give him a chance to explain himself. Right? And of course, okay, I can understand that people already feel strongly about all the evidence and all this. But look at his action. Look at the past. Why would he do this? And this just gives you a clue that there's a very high chance it can't be him. He had everything. Why did he want to ruin it? Does that make any sense to anybody? But no one cares to bring this up. Why? I don't know. I have no idea why society never questions anything. If never gives someone, there's no loyalty. It's like we're missing that or something. So here's the problem with OJ doing this crime. We can say OJ killed Nicole. We can say he did the crime up until he gets to the house. This is where the problem, like when you try and solve something, it's a puzzle, right? It's a big puzzle, and you need to fit all the pieces. If the pieces doesn't fit, then it can't be true. The puzzle isn't correct, right? You can't take something out. Eyewitness, all the evidence, right? Everything needs to have a reason to be there. You need to have it all connect. If it all connect, then that means it's likely the correct answer. So that's what I did. I put it all together to see who would fit the best, right? So OJ, let's say we assume OJ is the killer. Now, there's nothing there that I can say that he didn't do it, because his blood is there. There's no really proof that he couldn't have done that. He could have done that. But here's the problem when it comes to reasonable logic, when it comes to his house. His house is very, there's too many things that cannot move the theory that OJ did it. So, let's say you're OJ, you come back from the killing, you open your gate, you're walking. This is where the problem begins. This is where it breaks down. The theory cannot work. Why? Okay, so the blood is dropping, right? The only way this can work is if he walks all the way to the front door at exactly that time. The limo drivers and Cato was standing right there, because that was the witness. The witness says this is what they saw, and we got to go with the witness, because there's nothing. The limo driver had nothing to gain, nothing to lose, right? So for saying what he needs to say, so that's his story. That's what he saw, and so we need to trust that. Why did he go to the side of the house? And let's just say he did go to the side of the house, the back walkway. No blood is dropped there, right? Now we know that someone walked back there because they have to, right? So Cato hears 3 loud thump. It's not, some people believe that OJ ran and he hit the air conditioner. For what? Why are you going back there? Why is OJ going? He knows his house. Why is he going back there? Does that, you see what I mean? Logically, what is the reason why he went back there? There is no reason, right? So, to drop the gloves in his own back, in his own property, it doesn't make any sense. Right? So he goes, this is where I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere with this theory. Because if he goes to the back walkway, then why is there no blood drop? It just stopped, but then there's only blood drop coming right through the front door, from the Bronco to the front door. So there you go. That is where I'm stuck. If you can pass that, if you can explain to me with the evidence, with the witness, with Cato's witness, right? There's a 3 loud thump. Okay, he described it exactly. 3 loud thump. That's what he heard, right? A really loud thump. And the limo driver seeing a figure walking into the front door. So you need to tell me that, right? But this is the other problem. This is so, OJ must be pretty dumb, or okay, he's in a hurry. People say he's in a hurry. He drops his glove, he drops his socks, and then he leaves a box knife in the washroom. Like, there's so much evidence. Does that ring a bell to you guys? There's so much evidence. Why? Why is there so much evidence? Sometimes when you're in a crime, there's not much you can work with. But there's so much evidence. Why is there so much? Because someone is framing him. If someone just figured that out, if someone just realized that look at it, a socks right in the middle of the bedroom, it's right in the middle, so you can't miss it. And then a blood drops nowhere else except right to the front door, leading right to the front door, from the car, from the Bronco, leading right to the front door. Come on, someone is telling you, is trying to frame him. And how do you frame someone? The way you frame people is you gotta make it crystal clear to everyone who did it, right? If you want them to believe that this person did it, you want to make it crystal clear. No questioning. But this is the problem. This right here, when he comes home from the killing, it stops. The theory breaks down. You need, like I said, these people, sometimes I hear these people talk. Okay, forget this, forget that. All we need is this. No, you can't have one piece of the puzzle and say he did it. That doesn't make any logical sense. So, if you can prove that, then you can prove. If you can pass that section, tell me how OJ walked to the front door and walked to the side of the house and not drop any blood, and the knocking Cato hood at that time. Tell me that, and you can prove to me, if you can go through that process, if you can tell me that, then I will agree. Who could there be? Who could there possibly be to fit everything together? Because the theory of OJ did it doesn't fit. It does. He can't move past this this section. And so we need to find someone that will fit this puzzle. Now there's a theory that is a serial killer, and Jason, his son, right? So serial killer, why would he have OJ Simpson's blood? Why would he care to frame OJ? Stuff like that, right? Or maybe some of you also some of you think the police did it. The police, Mark Fuhrman, he probably did it. He probably planted everything. So that's why the serial killer did it, because he had the blood. Come on, people. Mark Fuhrman, Mark Fuhrman should be fighting on the same side as OJ. That's what I think. I think he should be fighting on the same side. Why? Because people judge him so harsh, just like they judge OJ. Because they think he did what he did. They think he planted the glove, and he's racist, right? And I don't know about the racist remark, because he's a human being. The way I hear him talk, he's a person. He's not this, person who's any different than anyone else. So I'm not going to get into much detail with that. But planting the gloves, right when it came, he goes to the crime scene. He sees this horrible crime. And the first thing he thinks is, oh, there's a glove. Let me pick it up. He doesn't know anything. He's going into this. These are minute by minutes. When you're in a situation where something happened and you don't know what, you're not gonna do something crazy. You're not gonna start planting stuff, and that's not how detective work. This is people's imagination running wild on them. This is what I think, and it doesn't make any logical sense anywhere. But people believe that. So people believe that the police planted all this stuff. All the blood evidence and stuff. No, come on, people. You're getting ahead of yourself. You're imagining way too much. All these scenarios. And Mark Fuhrman should be fighting with OJ, trying to prove both they're innocent. They're not this bad people. So, okay. So I hope that you can understand that people need to not imagine all these crazy things, because it doesn't make any sense. Because when he comes to a crime scene, he doesn't know anything about the crime scene. Why is he planting? And he found the gloves when Cato tells him that he heard 3 loud thump, and it was really strange. That's why he went back to the alley, to the back walkway, to check it out, and that's when he saw the gloves, right? There could be only one reason people plant things or do things, is the police can, make things seem more like he did it, because they know he did it, but they can't prove it. So they would, once all the evidence comes in, once everything is collected, once they know the story, and they can see that, okay, he did it, so we need to prove it a little stronger. Then there's a chance, there's a reason, there's a motive for the case to be stronger. But not at the beginning. We have to make that clear. You need to understand people. You need to understand reason. There's always a reason behind anything. We don't do things just for the random craziness, especially when it's something serious. People usually think it out. People, except serial killer, of course, they still think it out. They still, don't want to get caught. But of course, they do things more randomly. So, the serial killer theory it's just nonsense. Now, Jason, his son. Okay, if he kills Nicole, why would he run to his dad? For help? Why would he drop the glove there? Why would he have OJ's blood? Like the limousine didn't see the Bronco. Like what he used. Everyone knows that the Bronco was part of the killing. Why did he take his? Why did he go up there and take the car? Like, doesn't he have his own car? Like, there's so much that it doesn't make sense for him to go and kill Nicole. So the blood evidence, the reasoning why he went to his dad instead of just go home or go somewhere else, hide. We need to fit the puzzle. Remember, we need to fit this puzzle that we know it. The evidence in this case is so much. There's all these, the puzzle is right there for you to put it all together. But if you think logically, you need to think logically. It's a puzzle. You need the piece, all the piece to fit. If it doesn't fit, that means it's not correct. Right? So, who else is there? So we know that OJ's blood is there. But the problem with the blood is EDTA. What is EDTA? Well, is a blood preservative. And what that means is, just like when you go to the doctor, they take your blood, right? And they put it in a tube, a blood tube. And they need some kind of chemical. Apparently it's EDTA, which is to make it so that it doesn't dry up the blood or something. So there's EDTA inside the blood of OJ. So it couldn't have been he was dripping blood from his hand or whatever they think, because that chemical is in there. So that means someone is planting all these evidence, all these blood evidence, right? So now you think to yourself, okay, let's go with that theory, because OJ Simpson's theory seems to be stuck at this one section. So who else could it be? Why would they frame OJ? Why would they kill Nicole? So you gotta look at that, and you look at the puzzle and put it together. And the reason why I came to this new conclusion that I never anyone talk about is that Paula, his girlfriend at the time, likely is the one who did it. Why? Because who can take OJ's blood? Who have access to OJ's blood? Who can do that? And so I said, who is the closest? His girlfriend at the time. She's the closest one to take his blood. She doesn't like Nicole. And I said, oh, okay, I gotta look into this person. And then at first I thought, okay, maybe she wanted to frame OJ because so he can be in prison, and then if she's the girlfriend, she can have access to his money. That was my theory. That was my reasoning for why she would do that, why she would frame him. But this is where everything started to fit. When I heard OJ explaining his relationship, I did a video of that, of him explaining a relationship, and I put a meter there, emotion meter, and that emotion meter was for Paula. It was to try and explain her mood at the time, how she was feeling. Okay, so when I heard that story, then it all came together. The pieces started to fit. Everything started to fall into place. So when everything starts to fall into place, you can see how the crime happened and why it happened. So when everything fit, there's no other possibility here. So let me explain how it all fit, right? Let us run this theory. It's Paula that framed OJ. She hires somebody to take the Bronco at the time when they know that OJ was going to be at the house, because she's the girlfriend. She knows his schedule. She knows what he's going to be doing mostly. And of course, the killer already follows Nicole around, and so they kind of know the routine. So they planned this really well as possible. And so his job was to kill Nicole, then go plant some evidence in OJ's house, so that people believe he did it, OJ did it. So, why? You need to ask why. Everything needs to be reasonable, logical, right? That's where we're trying to get this through. Why did she want to do it? Well, if you listen to OJ telling his relationship with Nicole for the past 2 years, I got that video so you can watch what he's saying, and you can see that Paula is very mad. She is very mad at OJ for always caring for Nicole. Like always, he dumps her. He dumps her because Nicole wanted to come back. Just like that. Right? When they had a good relationship, this woman just comes in and say, hey, I'm ready to come back, and you get the hell out. That would piss any woman off. That would piss anybody off. I'm in love with someone, and this ex-girlfriend comes back and just, hey, you're not needed anymore. Do you see what I mean? She's still a person. She has feeling. She's not a nobody. She's not just anybody who, hey, I understand you want to go back because you have kids with her, and I can understand. No, people is not that easy to understand. This is the problem. This is why she's feeling this rage. So she already wanted to kill Nicole after that. After that, she's been thinking about it, getting really angry about it, right? So the theory fits. Makes reasonable logic sense. Why? What is the motive? Now, why did she frame OJ? Why not just kill Nicole? Why have to do this framing? The framing is because you have to see the timing. A month before the killing, OJ gives her this expensive jewelry that apparently is supposed to be for Paula, or something like Paula, what he got for Paula. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was supposed to be something special for his girlfriend, but he gives to the wife that he's not supposed to be with. Right? So that also made her angry, especially when it's on the news, people hear about it, or the tabloid. She knows about it, and extra pissed about that. And then the recital. What does Cato say? He says that Paula was upset and OJ just wanted it to be a family thing. Listen to that. Just listen to that. She is pissed off. She's like, I'm not a family. You know what I mean? I'm not part of you. I'm not part of... Are we in a relationship? Are we not? So obviously she felt really pissed off. And that was a week. The recital issue came on because they need to... He probably knows that they were going to go to this recital. And obviously she is aware, and they probably talk maybe on a Monday or around that week, and he said no, I wanted to make it a family thing. And that is when she was pissed off. That is when she decided to frame OJ, right? So the reasoning fits. The reasoning makes sense. It's starting to build up, right? So she decided, and what did she do? At some time, she could have drugged him. She could have done anything, and started to take the blood. And OJ probably didn't know. What else did she take? She takes an old pair of his shoes, right? Because she knows that how do you frame a person? You can't just frame them with blood. You need more stuff. You need to show people that he did it, and you need as much evidence, even hair sample, anything, because everyone those days are starting to realize DNA and all this stuff will convict you, will make sure that you're the one. You have no doubt, right? So that's what she's thinking. She takes his blood, and just like a doctor would, right, into a bottle. It's not hard to do, right? So takes that blood. Okay, got the blood. Now she's in the house. She's part of the she's his girlfriend. She has access to everything. What else can you use that says OJ did it? His car, right? His Bronco, because she knows the routine and everything. She knows that he was going to leave that night. She knows his schedule. She knows everything. So she leaves the key somewhere for this killer to find, and then she leaves the blood in the car for him to start spreading around when he does the crime. He needs to wear the shoes because likely there's going to be blood, because she knows her throat's going to be cut as deep as possible, because she likely told the killer, listen, when you cut her neck as deep as you can, you tell her this for me before she's dead. You tell her, this is the last time you will stick your neck into my affair. You see what I mean? This is where I got the message. Why would someone, what is the message? And the message is that. And so that's why her throat was cut so deep. She was pissed off at Nicole for always sticking her neck into her relationship with OJ. Okay, so there you go. And so, so got the car, and now the killer needs to be sure that OJ is home. So obviously, if he sees the other car at home, he sees a light or anything in the house. So she put the blood in the Bronco. She put the shoes in the Bronco, and she put a brand new knife in the Bronco for the killer to use. And if you're the killer, would you want to use his glove? You want to use something you're comfortable with, right? So this is the reason why the glove didn't fit, because the killer used his own gloves. If he's smaller, he would have been fine with the shoes. The shoe wasn't a big deal. It's his hand that he needs to worry about. And he also had a cap on, because he's a killer. He knows how to do this thing. He was paid to do this, so he must have done it once or twice, or he must have been trained, prepared for this. So now we got everything still fits. The puzzle is starting to come together. Nothing that we're trying to, we're not trying to cut the puzzle in a different way or anything. The evidence still there. The evidence still makes sense. So what happened? Okay, so he waited for OJ to be home. Then he takes the Bronco, goes to the house, to Nicole's house. He parks at the back. He knows her routine and everything. So he needs to do this quick, and he needs to drive back, and he knows that OJ is going to be leaving soon, so he needs to go into the house. So he waits for Nicole to put her kid to sleep. Then he goes around the house, and he goes to the gate. He must have came up with some kind of way to talk her into opening the gate. So they must have planned all this. But obviously there could be like I said in the timeline, could be a possibility that she opened the door because she knew Ron was coming, so she thinks it was Ron. So she goes, opens the door, and that's when he starts killing. Now, some people think that Ron was already there and the killer had to fight two people. No, because this is the reason why I think it's only he killed one at a time. So he killed Nicole first, then Ron came and say, right? This is the reason. If you look at the crime scene photo of Nicole lying there, you see her leg jammed into the gate, the bottom gate, right? Now you have to ask yourself, why would that happen? What logical explanation can make sense of that, right? When something drops or when something happens, there needs to be a reaction. There needs something to happen to make that happen. So how can you reason with that? And that's the conclusion that I came up with, that because she was already lying on the ground at that position, likely her feet was outside of the gate, and when Ron came and the killer had to fight him, and he put up a pretty good fight, and they struggled back and forth, and obviously at some point Nicole's leg is shoved underneath very tight, right? They said it was really pushed really hard in there, so that means they were fighting, and one of them was knocked onto Nicole's leg, and it drives it into the railing. So that's why I know, that's my reasoning, that they were killed at separate time. Okay, after he kills Ron, he drops his cap. He wanted to find it, and obviously he took his gloves off, both of them, to try and feel for it because it was really dark. So what happened? He ends up leaving both one of the gloves and the cap back there, right? And so, because the dark was blocking so much, right? He was getting a little panicky, and then of course he still had one glove, and he started to sprinkle the blood. He takes OJ's blood, right, and start dropping it a little as he moves along, so that, hey, this is where you start planting how do you frame someone? You want to plant it where his blood exactly where the crime happened. Now you need to plant it exactly to follow. It's like a trail, right? You want a trail to go to the person you want to frame, right? So he drives the Bronco back at this time, and it fits the timeline. The limousine driver was parked where the Bronco was. Now he moves it to the gate, and then at a certain time, the killer comes back and he parks there. That's why the limousine didn't see the Bronco when he was coming, and he was correct. And so now let's run through the theory. No blood drop is getting dropped. The killer climbs over the fence, or like I said, the Bronco had some kind of remote to open the gate. Either way, he goes to the back. Why did he choose to go to the back? Because the plan was Paula was going to leave the door open for him at the back. So this is another example of explanation that it has to be Paula, because Paula has access to the house, and she would be the only one, unless it's the maid, right? But the maid had no reason to frame OJ and stuff. So the plan is, this is where you're going to come in. And also remember this is another key evidence that OJ was supposed to be already gone. So the killer didn't see the limo driver at first because he's already going to the back. He's probably doesn't see the limo driver, and so at that time OJ was supposed to be gone, right? So he was late. OJ was late he woke up late, right? So the killer is already thinking, okay, OJ should be gone now. I need to get into the house, but because the back door where it's supposed to be unlocked, it's locked now, and what the hell do I do? So he walks further, maybe finding another door. Maybe he was mistaken. So he finds another door. He goes and he hears Kato. He hears someone talking in the room. Either Paula mentioned about Kato or not, it doesn't matter. And so he hears someone there. So what is his plan? His plan is, okay, I need to get into the house. I can't be breaking into windows and stuff, because then that means they're going to know that someone broke into the house. He needs to find a way to get in. So what does he do? He bangs 3 times really hard, just like Kato says. He bangs 3 times really hard to get his attention, so that Kato can come out and start, kind of searching the house, and hopefully he can try and sneak in when whoever is coming out leaves the door open. So that was his plan. And at that same time, he's like, okay, if something else happened, I can't look like, why am I wearing one gloves, right? It's going to look odd. So that's why he probably decided, okay, I need to throw this glove off, because when you wear a glove, you're wearing one glove and you're not wearing the other one. It might be feeling funny. So also that too. I don't exactly know what is the reason, but obviously he didn't want to wear the glove at that time, so he throws it. And why did he throw it there? Well, it's not his place. He doesn't really care. He's trying to frame OJ. He doesn't care what evidence he's leaving. He just needs to leave anything. I don't think he was thinking of leaving the glove, thinking, okay, this is an evidence to prove OJ did it. I think it was just a reaction, because things are not happening correctly. The door's not opening. He needs to improvise, think of another plan to go into. So, okay, Kato comes out to check the back. He could have went many ways, but at that time, he's waiting. The killer is waiting to see if Kato is going to open a certain door. So he goes, and then, of course, when he went to the driveway, he noticed there was the limousine driver, and so he has to be cautious. He's just thinking, okay, I need to get into that house. And what does he do? He took a risk. He went to the front door. It fits the eyewitness, because the eyewitness, the limousine driver, looks this way and he sees Kato. Then he sees a figure going into the house. So it has to be, this is what happened. The killer goes into the house, and it was he took a risk, and it paid off, because the door was left open. The door was unlocked. So obviously OJ wasn't too concerned, especially when he's home or when Kato's home, and he had his gate. So there's a good chance he would leave his door unlocked, because he has a gate and he figured no one's going to come or whatever. So the killer goes in, and he hears OJ, because the limousine at the same time beeps him, and OJ is coming out from the shower, because when Kato saw OJ coming out, and the limousine driver sees him, he's fine and dandy, he's normal, nothing's suspicious. He didn't look like he was into a big fight with anybody or killing 2 people. So there's another clue that this is likely the pieces fits. And so likely, like I said in the timeline, that the killer might have hid in the front office or the washroom, the bathroom. So now OJ goes and takes his bag, goes to the the airport. And when the limousine driver drives out, that's when he, he says I think he said something like he remembers seeing, he had to look. There was he believed there was a car there or something because he had to look or something. And so likely that is correct. Everything is correct. Everything is aligned. And then obviously the killer goes inside of the house and he plants it. He plants all these evidence. He socks. Come on, people. Socks in the middle of the room. How clear can a killer leave these things for you to find so that you can point to OJ? And doesn't that show you kind of suspicious? But obviously other people think the police planted because it looks so suspicious, right? So, but why would the police just try and get that out of your head that the police is planting all these things, right? If you can try and get that out of your head, then you can focus on this theory. So and you can, once you focus on this theory, you can see how crazy it is. He plants the socks in the middle of the room, and then he goes to the washroom, and he puts the knife box there. And Mark Furman says, yeah, there was a knife box in the washroom at the tub. Right? You see, he is OJ this crazy to leave all these stuff? And don't you people see how obvious these evidence are? People say there's so much evidence. Why is there so much evidence? It's because someone's trying to frame OJ, so they give you all these evidence, and so everything is falling into place. When there's EDTA inside the blood, you need to question why, and if it's not the police, then it has to be someone else. And this is where people are not getting it. It's because they can't imagine someone would, use this idea. Like, come on, people, can you see? If you were gonna frame someone, how do you frame them with their own blood? And when you do that, what happened? EDTA, inside the blood. That's how I came up with this theory. When I heard that, then I knew there could be a chance someone close to him has taken his own blood. And what is his name? Juice. They took the juice and they planted. So, I hope I made it clear for you that I didn't just leave anything out. I put everything in there for you. I put all the pieces, all the reasoning, why she was killed, why OJ was framed, why the blood is where it is. And so I hope that if I'm wrong, then I need you to tell me why I'm wrong. What did I miss? Because all the hard work is done by the police, the detective and all these people who put everything together for you so that you can see all the evidence, all the witnesses, and then you have to put it all together. If we can put it all together, then that means that is the reason. Everyone's always focusing on OJ. He did it. This is why he's a wife beater. Is this? You can run through all this imagination, all this theory, but at the end of the day, you need those pieces to fit. If they do not fit, and I already explained to you why OJ's theory does not fit. OJ's theory of OJ did it does not fit. And all the other theory does not fit. And people just need to get their head out of their whatever. Get the head out of thinking the police planned everything at the beginning. Just unbelievable. No possible chance. Not likely. Not very likely, especially when there's a big celebrity here, and just not in this case, okay? So, if you can get that out of your head, and if you can get past, now if someone can get past that section that I told you about OJ, then I can believe that OJ did it. But right there, everything else fits perfectly into why Paula likely is the one that did this. Some of you might have noticed, if you know the case, she indicated that she left a message for OJ Simpson on the morning of the murder, stating that she was breaking up with him and flying to Vegas. That's her statement. That's her reasoning for leaving town. That same day the murder happened. That same day. Sometime in the morning. Is any of you starting to get suspicious about how she's acting? How much she's connected? And then not only that, afterward, 5 weeks after, someone got caught stealing her car, Paula's car. Now, hey, that's fine. Her car was stolen and she just got better. But no, there was evidence found with the guy in that he was following Nicole around, keeping an eye on Nicole. Do you know what I mean? Like, she is connected again. She is connected to someone who's following Nicole. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? At first, I believe it's her, but now I know it's her. But as I said, the pieces needs to fit. This is the problem with society. They judge things, the criminal system even, they judge things by one evidence and forget the rest. You need to put it all together. If you can put it all together and every piece is fit, then it has to be correct, isn't it? How do you put a puzzle together if you just leave everything, whatever you don't want? This is why I don't think these lawyers and these stuff are trying to solve a case. They're trying to win it. They're not trying to figure out who did it or who didn't do it. They're not using what is a method to find out the truth. They're using a method of trying to win a case. And I think our society has lost that in some way. Our justice system is flawed. We are fighting just to win, not to find out the truth anymore. So somewhere in this evolution of human, we lost that, I think. And I see that so much in all these other cases that I looked at. And I hope you see what I saw. But like I said, I hope I made it as clear as I can. And I put it all together so that you can understand as clearly as you can. And hopefully someone out there will listen and get the truth out there. Here's another thing to question her action. Imagine if you were involved in something very bad a long time ago, and you know if someone ever figured it out, you know you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Who would you want next to you? Who would you want to be there for you, to protect you? Who would you want to get married to? Who would be the right person to be involved with? If you can figure it out, then can you see the connection? Can you realize the connection? Something to think about.